What is going on, shrimp keepers? I'm Rob with Flip Aquatics, and today I have a special guest, and that is Roma Aquatics in the house. So I'm here with Chris Roma. Chris has a fish room that is basically mainly shrimp, some guppies, and he has some really cool stuff. So we're gonna learn all about Chris today. He has a YouTube channel, and it's Roma Aquatics,
yes,
right?
Sir.
And so you guys feel free to check him out. I'll have his link down below. But let's check out his fish room. So you literally walk down the steps and you come down here, and the first thing you see is like this beautiful in the wall tank. And what's in here, Chris?
Here we got some royal blue tigers, some really nice ones. They just started breeding pretty heavily for me. So there's babies in all of the frog bit and all the Substrate. Haven't gotten it big enough for me to pull any orange eye blue tigers out of here or anything like black tigers yet, but soon enough.
It looks great. I love the Substrate.
Thanks. Yeah, the Substrate over actually got from Mark's Shrimp Tanks.
Shout out to Mark's Shrimp Tanks.
Yeah, but looks really good. It's growing in nice, and it's actually some of the I've had bad luck with some of the Substrate I've picked up, and this tank's actually doing quite well. So.
Yeah, it looks great. Now, how did you tie it to the wood?
Super glue.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I did a video on it actually, if anyone wants to check it out. I had the wood and I basically just went through and did a little super gluing little patches down, and it's grown in to almost cover that whole piece of wood now, and originally it was just a couple patches here and there all over the wood.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Yeah, it's all through the tank now.
Yeah, I kind of like that with the Substrate. If it falls, I just let it
let it go.
It wants.
Yeah, shrimp love it too.
Going with the wild look.
Now, what type of glue did you use? Just out of curiosity.
Right now I've switched over to the Gorilla Glue gel style. So this is what I've been using now, but for this particular build I used the Loctite gel.
And it worked pretty good?
Yep. The only difference between the Loctite and the Gorilla Glue is price. From what I've noticed.
Gotcha. So, it's Gorilla Glue
cheaper.
Is more cheaper, really?
Yeah, you generally get a bottle of Gorilla Glue. You'll generally get like 1.5 ounces, where the other super glue is 0.8 of an ounce. So you're almost getting double for the same price.
Well, let's check out your fish room.
So these walls I built in here just to kind of, for the winter, if I need to use that radiator to kind of keep the room a little warmer, I can close these doors off.
And keep it nice and heated.
Just keep this room heated. Also, when I'm working, I want to stay nice and toasty.
So you're a software engineer.
Yep.
And this is your desk.
This is my desk.
Literally in the middle of his fish room. This is the. He normally has a chair here, but we had to take it out so that we could do the tour. Oh my gosh! Now, how many tanks do you have in here?
Honestly, I haven't done a count too recently. I think I'm up in the high 30s, maybe low 40 area. I could be overestimating, but hey, if someone wants to count in the comments, leave a comment.
Nice. Now these are the Cardinals.
Sulawesi Cardinal Shrimp, if I'm saying that right. That's how I'm going to say it and continue to say it.
We all say it a little differently.
Exactly. But these are probably, in my opinion, the prettiest shrimp in freshwater at the moment.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Just because I like to call them my little marchers or my little dancers, because when they eat, they look like they're marching with those front.
Oh yeah, they got the white legs.
Yeah. But I'm just starting to see some babies in this tank finally after, I think I've had these guys for maybe about 2.5, 3 months. I started out with 10 of them. I extremely overpaid because I couldn't find anyone who had them. Found a guy at Aquabid and got in a bidding war with someone else. So I extremely overpaid for them. But I don't look at it that way. I feel like I still won.
Yeah, because you got them.
I got
Here they are.
They're mine now.
They're living,
And
they're breeding.
Living and they're breeding. Recently just noticed one of my heater malfunctions. I know you're against heaters.
No.
I'm against heaters. That's one of the downfalls of this particular kind of shrimp is you pretty much need a heater. Luckily, it failed off instead of on.
So it just got
So
cold.
I noticed when this tank got to about 76 that something was up, and I don't pay attention to that. That's not right.
That's not right.
That's not right.
But those are nice to have.
These once a little thing I heard that I don't know is true is once these get wet, they totally lose their efficiency. Like the crystals
That makes
or however
sense.
they work inside won't work. But yeah, I got another heater in there and heating up. This is what I call my bruise tank, as in black and blue.
Your bruise tank, I like that.
So we got some extreme blue bolts, some normal blue bolts, some Lazura blue bolts, some Shadow Panda, and I think there's an extreme black King Kong creeping around in there somewhere. But I haven't seen her in a couple days. I'm a little nervous about her, but I'm hoping she's all right.
Yeah, they look good. Now, tell everyone what you got going on with these like little containers in here.
Those are what I like to call my shrimp towers.
Nice.
I borrowed the idea from you with your Tupperware because I like the idea of being able to easily change it without disturbing the tank.
So what's in there? Just so everyone
That's
knows.
bright well soil at the moment. So
Okay.
it's a buffering substrate for the.
It just means that it decreases the pH
Correct.
for the
Yep.
Taiwan bees.
Yeah, and it keeps it nice where the most of the Carradine is like it that way. So this is just the way I try to keep at least 2 or 3 in every tank. So maybe once a year I can just grab one and switch it out without disturbing the tank too much. And, not having to
And the nice thing is it's got holes in the side, so it's constantly, water can flow through it and everything like that.
Through it. Plants can grow. They make really good planters. The plants can grow through it. Their roots can go in and out of the mesh. I like it because lots of people use this plastic mesh in their tank, so I'm not worried about the toxicity of it or anything.
Oh, yeah.
So
it works really good for you.
yeah, I'm eventually planning on covering it all in moss and getting it to where you can't even
Tell that it's there anymore.
exactly. But it's on the bucket list.
It all happens in time.
Yeah.
So
So
these-
what you're looking at now, those are my white ghost bees from Jeff Lidberg. He had a real nice colony of them going. So I got a hold of him, and he was nice enough to send me some.
Nice. And these are a type of crystal?
Correct. Yeah, white crystals.
Beautiful. The moss in here looks fantastic.
Yep. And these are kind of confusing because they also can go by the name of a ghost shrimp, white ghosts.
Gotcha.
Wait, am I confusing? Never mind. Is that true?
That sounds true.
I think that is true.
A ghost bee.
Yeah, ghost bee. Yeah, okay. And some people confuse that with the brackish water feeder, or not.
Oh, the
feeder.
ghost shrimp.
Ghost
Yeah.
shrimp. So I do also have another tank with one orange eye red ghost that
Oh, they're
we're
pretty.
probably not going to get lucky enough to get on camera because I haven't seen him or her in a while. But
Yeah, no, they look good. Hopefully they'll get breeding for you.
yep, I seen one of them's got a nice big saddle. So
Oh, yeah. No, this is the royal blue tank
The
from
other
the inside.
side.
That's awesome. That's so cool you did it in the wall. That looks really nice.
Well, the original plan, like I said, was this was my office. I just didn't realize
You were gonna have this many fish tanks.
Yeah, it was pretty much just going to be this rack with those 3, because I was going to put a 10-gallon on the very bottom, and that was going to be it.
And that was it? Just this wall, you mean?
Yeah,
Or...
well, just these that I built into the wall here. So this whole rack is basically built into the wall with the dry wood. So it was going to be that tank, and then I was going to put a 20 long under there, but I
didn't do that.
And I mismeasured.
Oh, did you?
So now it's just storage.
Now it's storage.
But that was originally going to be the plan. That was just going to be the tanks in the office there, maybe a table or something with another tank on it. But the addiction is real.
The addiction is completely real. and these are some guppies, huh?
These are purple grass guppies. This is my first batch growing up from the adults, so I'm not sure how true they breed, if they're all going to be purple, if they're going to turn out all different colors. I noticed one of the males is starting to get old enough to have a little bit of color, and he's showing some reds and yellows.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how they're going to look, but there's the male coming out to say hi to you right there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, he's beautiful.
Yeah, they're gorgeous, gorgeous fish, but like I said, I hope they breed true, but if not, I'm going to have a bunch of colors of grass going on. I didn't do my research on them. That was an impulse buy on Aquavid. I saw the picture.
And you're like, I need those.
And I need, exactly. And that was awesome. The end of that.
And they're breeding like crazy.
They are breeding like crazy, because I got them at the exact time. We want to go to my blue Moscow tank down here next.
Okay.
I got those in the exact same day, in the exact same shipment from the same seller. And you can see, well, there's not as much plants in here, but I just cleaned them out. But there's babies in this tank, but not nearly as many.
We got the puppy.
This is my girl Dexy.
Dexy. She's like, pet me. Come on now. Don't video. Now, what were these ones again? I'm sorry.
These are blue Moscow.
Blue Moscow.
Blue Moscows. There's also some yellow Sakura shrimp in here.
Oh, yeah, I see one right here.
Yeah, so this tank and the dragon tank upstairs are the only tank that I have guppies and shrimp mixed together. And that was really only to see how it did, and I'm not liking how it's doing.
No.
For the shrimp. It's not good for the shrimp.
They're just not doing that.
I mean, they're breeding. They're definitely still reproducing and growing in numbers, just not in comparison to tanks without guppies.
Yeah. So without guppies, they do a lot better.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And this got a lot of hiding place in it, too.
Yeah,
so.
I was trying to put moss and subwasser tank, like basically around the whole bottom and whole top. I wanted places for them to be able to get away from both the fry and the shrimplets.
Yeah, so for you, it's just guppies and shrimp don't go together too well.
Not, I mean, if that's your thing, but if you're going for numbers on shrimp, it's not.
It just
you
doesn't
know,
make sense.
if you're just going for the look and you don't really care about how many shrimp you're getting out and you're not breeding, you know, for the guppies, as far as the guppies go, it probably increases their number because they're getting a lot more little snacks here and there.
Oh yeah. And they probably breed a lot faster.
Right. But as far as breeding the shrimp, which is generally my main goal.
Yeah.
Especially since that's my only yellow tank at the moment.
Yes, you want them to do well.
Yeah, so my plan is to get the yellows out of there once one of the newer tanks. Like these 4 tanks are just set up.
Okay.
This one's probably cycled, ready to go. These 3 aren't ready yet.
So none of them have shrimp yet?
None of them have shrimp yet.
Nice. Why'd you choose the blue?
This one was my
Gotta give you some crap.
pure redline tank. And
So they would pop on the
actually,
blue.
if you get it from this side, when I moved it, the front of it was sand, and then there was just a blue pile in the back.
Okay.
When I moved it, the gravel kind of went everywhere.
Went everywhere, mixed up.
But the pure red line, the white and the red, popped on that blue,
Gotcha.
and it looked awesome.
These are some new tank
Plus, I
setups
ran
for
out
you.
of pool sand. It didn't feel like driving to the store.
So you're like,
And I had some.
I got it. I'll use it. That's funny. Now, this tank is going to be the new Sulawesi tank?
Yes, yeah. And I set it up that way. They love their hiding spots. This tank over here that they're in now, I noticed there's not very many hiding spots. Like these big, huge caves like here, I consider hiding spots, but the shrimp don't.
They don't.
To them, that's not covered.
Gotcha.
They want these little gaps like in here.
Okay, so
that's
you try
what
to
I
make
was
a lot
going
more of
for in here, the real tiny escape ways.
Yeah, this will look good once it gets going.
And yeah, I just seeded it with a little bit of moss, but I know, 2 or 3 months by the time I actually get some shrimp in here, that moss will be,
Oh, it'll take over.
it'll take off.
It'll be growing all over this driftwood.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so here's the next rack. Now, what are we looking at in this first tank?
Nothing's in this tank. This is just a tank I just set up probably 4 or 5 days ago. So it's just cycling. I got this tank for free from my other friend Rob, who didn't want it and didn't have room for it.
So you get hooked up on tanks.
Yeah, people know if they don't want tanks, I'm the guy to call. And my one friend's always looking on Craigslist free, like every day.
Oh my god!
So if he ever sees anything on there, he gives me a heads up.
Now, what type of rock is this? Just real quick.
I don't even know. I know there's tons of fossils. Like if you look at that one, you can see there's like some type of snail shell fossil sticking out the side of it there.
Oh, that is cool.
But I don't know. When I moved into the house, I guess the guy who lived here before me got a lot of rabbits under the shed, and he surrounded the shed with this stone.
Oh my gosh! So you just go out there and just pick it up?
I go out there and I throw it in some hot water for a couple minutes, and then it goes in the tank.
There's nothing wrong with free stone.
These 2 tanks don't have a light on them at the moment because they just got moved here because I heard someone special was coming to look at my room.
Oh, nice.
But they got moved over here. That tank that you're on right now is the tank that has the one orange red ghost in it somewhere.
So it's in there somewhere. We just don't know where.
It's in there somewhere.
Gotcha. How about this one?
Empty.
Nice. You got some room to expand.
I got some room. I'm setting it up because my guppies are throwing some fry. So
you got a couple fry tanks you could use.
All of the tanks that are empty are set up with the same water that I use for Neos.
Okay.
And all my guppies are in the Neo water too. So the salty shrimp, GHKH plus.
Awesome.
Most people don't want to keep the guppies or pay money for RO water for guppies and Neos because you don't really need it. But with this many tank, I don't trust for what the town might randomly throw in the water one day for that, $100 year tops price for the RO water.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's worth the peace of mind alone to not have to worry about what's in my water.
That's awesome.
But you're looking at the Black Rose Neos right there, and those came from you.
Oh, so this is a Flip Aquatics line.
That's the Flip Aquatics Black Rose tank. I recently culled out a lot of them. It's not perfect yet. There's still some dark blue ones in there, but
they look good though.
They're all looking good in there, and they're breeding quite well for me. I was probably up to about 40 or 50 shrimp from the original 12 that I bought off you.
And then you sold a bunch, right?
I sold a bunch, yeah.
Nice. You use cholla wood in pretty much all your tanks, it looks like.
I try to get at least one piece in every single tank, as well as normal driftwood if I can. I do the dangerous thing. I don't encourage this or recommend this to people, but I do get my driftwood from the wild off of the beach on Lake Erie.
Oh, nice.
But then I'll either boil it if it's small enough to boil, or I will soak it in some Paragard and some fembenzenol.
And just kill anything that could be on it.
Try to kill anything that's on it, and then I'll let that soak for another week or two to get all of whatever I used to kill the stuff out of the wood. In case any of those chemicals soaked into the wood, I soak it longer to get it out.
So you do long soaks on it?
I do long. I make sure that the wood is safe before I get it in the tank. Like I said, because it's dangerous. I highly recommend buying your wood versus
That's
finding
awesome. It's cool that you get everything just right out of nature nearby, though.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the fun parts of the hobby.
I actually tried to collect a bunch of different kinds of wort, like hornwort, Carolina fanwort out of Lake Erie, because it's in there a lot.
Oh, nice.
But I haven't had any success really adapting those plants to aquarium. I think the water temperature is too different because the lake's kind of cold.
It's cold, yeah. Now these are the PRL that we're looking at, right?
These are PRL, and there's some red Rilly in there as well.
I know. I see a huge one up front.
Yep.
That's probably one of the biggest red Rillies I've ever seen in my entire life.
She just threw all her berries 2 days ago, and I just did one of my live streams. I was talking about her, and I said she carries more eggs than I've seen any other shrimp in my life, video or in person. I wish you were here to see it because she just throws so many eggs, and they're all in here somewhere.
Yeah, she's a monster.
Yeah, she's a one-sider too, because she's that red in the middle on the one side isn't on the other.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if that matters in Neos, but
it's pretty.
It's still pretty cool. She's not by any means a high grade, really, but
she's
she's pretty to
huge.
see, and she's huge.
She's got good genetics. How big she is. So that's a positive.
But those guys are breeding like crazy. There's tons of babies in that too.
Dude, now what's down here? Oh, dude, I love these tanks, Chris.
This one is my cherry tank. I recently pulled out the higher grade ones and set them up in another tank over there.
Okay.
So this is what I just call my normal regular cherries, even though you can see they're still fairly high grade.
Yeah, there's some real nice ones in there.
Yeah. So they're pretty nice. But yeah, like I said, that's what I consider my normal. Just like you, I don't like kind of with the cherry shrimp. I don't like going with 10 different grades with them. I like just high and low.
Yep, that's it.
That's kind of.
These guys
It's
look
too
great,
much to
man.
go through painted fire, Sakura.
It's a
It's
pain.
just high and low works.
I love the way this tank looks for sure. Like how it's lighted, the type of wood you have in there, the plants. Like same thing with this tank, just the way they're laid out. I love it.
These are probably two of the oldest tanks I have. Those salt and pepper substrate tanks. Those are part of the original 8 that I had in the other room when I first started doing all my videos.
I love it.
So they're the salt and pepper substrate tanks are the more established ones.
Gotcha. Now, what are you doing with these PVC pipes in here?
Those are just shrimp hides, places to get away from when the females molt and they're in the breeding, so they don't get harassed by the males. They have somewhere to kind of get away from. Also, it's just a lot more surface area for microfilm to grow on. Like you see how much algae is growing on that.
Oh yeah, just you can see they're just feeding off the top of it.
Yeah, they love it. Then they get in there. So yeah, and I've been getting creative with the PVC.
You got a little Hydra in there.
Yeah, I've been Hydra has been appearing in all of my tanks. I got free plants from a guy named Chuck, and he warned me that he had Hydra.
And you're like, oh, it'll die.
And I was like, I had all of them in a tank, and I treated it, and
a couple got through.
A couple.
Dang it!
So now I'm basically have to put. I bought Z1 that I'm using.
Okay.
I'm gonna try just because I don't have a scale that's accurate enough for fembenzenol. But after your speech last night, I realized you don't really have to be super accurate.
No, not at all.
So
I literally just like poured in the tank.
Yeah, my problem was I didn't want to spend $45 on a gram scale that's super accurate to
yeah,
stuff,
no, that's a pain in the butt.
Plus, I didn't need any police looking at my window when I'm weighing white powder on a gram scale.
Now, talk about real quick. What are Hydra? So, like, they just saw what it looked like, but what actually are they?
Hydra are little jellyfish-like type creatures that have stingers and tentacles that come out, and they'll actually sting and kill your baby shrimp. And they can sting your adult shrimp, and the stings themselves don't kill the shrimp, but they can get bacterial and fungal infections from the shrimps.
So you do not want them.
You do not want them. They're very, very. There's a nice, what would you call that? Blue Rilly?
Blue Rilly almost? Yeah, like a black blue Rilly?
Yeah, that's from the sapphire.
People call them a blue carbon Rilly.
Blue carbon Rilly. So that's from the sapphire shrimp / blue diamond, black diamond line.
Okay.
I got a couple of those. I think I started out with 6 of them. I got them on Aquabid.
Look like they're doing pretty good.
They are doing fairly well, and I just sold a bunch out of that tank as well too. So there were a bunch of browns and clears, like wild type.
Gotcha. And you called them out.
And I called them out, and they're still. I don't know if you see the Bloody Mary in there, but there should be a Bloody Mary wandering around in there somewhere.
Oh no! Yeah, I don't see it right now.
Yeah, but I left her in there because that's the only Bloody Mary I have.
That's funny. Now what's over here?
Those are the yellow King Kong. Carradine.
Oh, so these are Carradine species.
Yes.
Nice. How are they doing? Pretty good?
They honestly had a huge crash. If you watch my unboxing video, you'll see how many I had and how gorgeous they were. Something happened. I think
you were
just
they were sick.
Yeah, I think because they were imports, I lost the majority of them. I was down to like 4, but they're recovering now. They threw a bunch of babies maybe a month and a half ago, and now it looks like those babies are starting to saddle up.
And you got a huge buried female in there.
Yeah, she's ready to throw them any day now. I'm watching her. I'm watching her. I'm making sure because I'm going to get some Bacter in that tank the minute she throws.
Nice. Now over here, we got some new tanks set up on the bottom.
All the tanks over here are brand new. I don't even have filters on them yet. They just got set up yesterday.
Nice.
Those 2 20 gallons above them are waiting on the Guppies from All Thailand Fancy Guppy.
Okay.
So we have a pair of full platinum white guppies and a pair of firetail black guppies, which look like the black up on top there, the full blacks, except the tail is going to be fire red instead of black.
Okay, and what are these ones called?
Those are called full blacks, high dorsal, umbrella tail, big ears, because they have all of the finnage. They have the big ears on the side, that's their pectoral fins, the high dorsal fin, which is the long leafy one on top, and the umbrella tail is their back tail.
Oh, they look great.
And that actually almost, now looking at it, has almost like a cocktail glass rather than an umbrella tail, but that's subjective.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about there, is just the shape of the back tail, if it looks like an umbrella or if it looks like a cocktail glass.
Gotcha. Yeah, they look good. Yeah, like an upside down cocktail glass.
Exactly, yes.
That looks good. And so these tanks are just waiting for the guppies to come.
Waiting for guppies to come, just cycling.
Now what's going on with this right here?
That's pothos plant.
Okay.
I haven't found a good way to hang it in the tank yet, so every day I'm constantly going through and pulling it out of the water. It's constantly falling in.
You know what you could do? Just suggestion. You know, like this type of foam that you're using?
Yeah.
You can cut a little circle of it
and have
and
it
put in your tank and then shove that down into it and it will just float in your tank.
I actually had that in a couple of the tanks.
Really?
Yeah, it was going, but I noticed it would even if it's lost hanging on the edge like that, it would still flip over unless you used a really huge piece of styrofoam.
Because it was top heavy, so it would just...
Exactly. What I have been thinking is using pieces of like the filter foam, like this stuff, and just ripping off a piece and just burying it in there, just kind of hot gluing a piece of the film to the side of the tank. But basically, hey, no drinking out of the fish tank. Is that good?
No, that's
salty. How does salty shrimp taste? Good.
She coughed.
Now I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
We were just talking about the pothos.
So basically, the reason for that is it's exposed to atmospheric CO2.
So it grows
just like the
crazy.
Amazon run. So it grows fast. It pulls the nitrates out of the water like crazy.
Which helps a lot.
It helps a lot as far as water changes go.
Awesome.
So I try to keep a little in every tank. I did notice that. Again, Mark Shrimp Tanks, one of his videos, he actually just pulled some of the pothos out of his tanks because he's thinking he pulls so much nitrates out of the water that there's not enough left to form the microfilm that the shrimp need.
Oh, so he was actually having problems because of it.
The water was almost too clean. But again, that was just one of his hypotheses.
So it's not proven or anything, but it's a good theory. Now, what guppies are these up here?
Those are called full reds. You're not getting the full beauty of them because there's only 2 females in there. The male didn't. Those are my blue dreams.
In here?
Yep, I was having bad luck with them as well because they were imports. And they basically, I assume it's because they were imports. I don't know. It could have been any number of things.
Oh, yeah. So that's most likely the cause.
Most likely the cause, but it crashed. I started out with, again, probably 20, 30 of these guys, went down to maybe 7, and now they're recovering again.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but ever since they started recovering, I haven't had really any losses. I had 1 loss on one of these crystals when I switched them from the 10-gallon to this tank. And that's the only loss I've had in, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. Long time.
Okay, well, you're doing good then.
Yeah. Happy can never be.
Never be more happy.
This is becoming my ram's horn sanctuary, and there's blue Delta fry in here that were a free gift from Guppy Train. So I don't even know what those are going to look like when they get older, but there should be 6 fry in there.
Yeah, so you're just growing them out.
Yeah, just growing them out in there, and plus the ram's horns are taking over a lot of the tanks, so I'm trying to trap them.
So every time you get them, you throw them in here.
Yep. Yeah. That was an extreme blue bolt tank, but there was only 6 of them in there, and
gotcha. And we actually saw one today, or did you already get it?
Nope, I thought I got them all out of there, but apparently I left one in there. So there's one still in there that I got to get out and get into the bruise tank.
Nice.
But I decided to put them in the
bruise tank. I love that.
Yeah.
Black and blues bruise.
I tried to put them in the bruise tank because I want to get. They supposedly have really, really nice blue genes in them, and I want to get those genes into my shadow pandas as well.
Nice.
So.
Okay. Now, what's this tank going to become?
I don't know yet. Some type of. It depends on what I have necessity for.
Okay.
At the time. At this point in time, probably royal blue culls.
Royal blues are the best.
Not even Culls, just Royal
Just
Blue.
Royal Blues.
Not perfects.
No. That's funny.
That's my Pinto tank. Black
we
and
did see
red. There's 3 red zebra Pintos, 2 2 black zebra Pintos, and 1 black Pinto. Dexy girl, come over.
See, Dexy's here.
She's loving on Rob.
She's loving on me. Yep.
Yeah, but basically I
there's
got
one.
them all mixed just because I only have 6 shrimp. Ideally, I'd like to separate the reds and the blacks, but I'm going to let them interbreed for a while until I get a little bit of more. I know that it's going to predominantly cause more blacks doing
That's
it that
okay.
way, but I still will get a couple more red, and
Yeah.
that's okay for me. Plus, it'll also strengthen the gene pool. Which is
For sure.
That's always a good thing.
Anything in this tank?
That is the high grade reds, high grade cherries.
Nice.
I think there's only 4 or 5.
Oh, here's one right
of
up
them in
front.
there.
Coming up for the video.
And that's probably that's probably the worst one in there.
Really?
Yeah, that's because you could see her saddle, can't you?
Little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the worst one in there. I think the other ones are perfect.
Oh, she's gorgeous though.
Yeah. Actually, looking at it, I might pull her back out. She's nice, but not nice enough for that tank.
Not nice. So you're really trying to get some
Like
high grade ones going.
this tank I want to be perfection. So yeah, and now that I'm looking at that, I must have had some bad light when I put her in there to begin with.
Well, that's all right.
But I mean, yeah, she's a gorgeous shrimp, but that tank I want perfection.
Good. And this one's another guppy tank?
That one has 1 platinum tiger female. The other, it was a trio to start. The male and female were DOA along with the super red male.
Oh.
So again, they should be coming in that shipment that I got to talk to Guppy Train about today.
Gotcha. Well, at least he's taking good care
He's
of you.
taking, and especially on these, he mentioned that he was holding back a few pair of show quality for himself. That since we've been having so much back and forth,
Yeah.
he's
gonna send you a pair.
He's gonna send me a pair of show quality platinum.
No
tigers.
way.
So
Well,
I mean,
that's
these
nice.
I ordered show quality. So he owes me a show quality mail on these guys, but these I just got your norms, and he's gonna upgrade me to the show quality ones on the platinum tigers. So
Awesome. I did want to show. I want to show this. So, Chris, you bought this rack. It supports 360 gallons total, right? Oh no, per shelf.
380 if my memory serves correct per shelf.
And then all of a sudden he started getting this like little bit of a bow. And so he's gonna put some wood on here and stabilize it. But I'm walking around, I'm like, man, this looks great. And he's like, yeah, don't. Ooh, that shelf was an interesting one.
Yeah, Chris Hardy warned me against it before I had any water on it. He said, don't do it. Because I originally bought 2 of these before I built these
no.
wood. So I posted a picture on Facebook with the 2 stands where that wood rack is next to each other over there.
And Chris Hardy's like,
immediately
no.
said, no, don't do it. He came over like the next day, showed me the plans on how to build these racks with the notches in them to support the
my
wood.
gosh.
So I ended up doing that, but then I'm one of those people who can't waste money, and I had these racks and I couldn't return them
So you're
because
like,
it was
I'm
over
gonna
30 days. I put a rack there, a 20 gallon, filled it up, didn't hear any creaking, no bending. Went to the next one, filled it up slowly, no creaking, no bending. I'll move this one up, no creaking, no bending. Yes! And then a couple days later, what's this?
Oh
no,
my gosh.
Oh no.
How long has it been set up for?
They've been up for maybe a month now.
So most likely it will
They're
hold
fine.
it.
They're fine. The only thing I could see happening is if these welds snap, because if you could see, these welds are welded from the bottom. So all the weights,
all the
holding
weights
on-
right there.
So if these welds snap,
And how many go across there? Like, there's like 4 or so.
I think it could handle. Like I made a video where I said I basically on this rack where I was like, at first I didn't trust it, now I fully trust it. Now I'm back to not fully trusting it. You want my recommendation? Don't do it. Rack.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It can probably hold it. You're probably gonna be fine. But for the peace of mind,
Yeah.
these are cheaper.
Oh yeah. They take a little bit
They
longer to
take-
build.
Maybe 2 hours of your day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
That's so crazy.
Just these are.
Oh, because worst case scenario, the top one breaks, falls down, breaks this one, falls down, breaks that one, and then you're not out $40 for the rack. You're out like $1,000
Thousands of shrimp.
Oh, it's just
Because
terrible.
these are all the, I mean, these aren't just the Neo shrimp. These are my Sulawesi's, which are probably one of the most expensive shrimp I
Yeah.
have. You know, the Extreme Blue Bolts, which are probably one of the most expensive shrimp I
Oh
have.
my god.
And then the White Ghost Crystal Bees are so, and you know, those aren't, you don't find those everywhere. You got to kind of track those ones down.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right, so we're wrapping up the tour with Chris Roma, Roma Aquatics on YouTube. And so, Chris, I asked everyone this question. If you could give one piece of advice to everyone watching, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be about shrimp. It doesn't have to be about fish. It could be about life. Like, just something in your life that you've learned, and this is one thing that you stick by.
Don't get into shrimp. No.
No, wow. Sorry, I'm editing that one out.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Don't do shrimp.
If you like money. No.
That's hilarious.
No, but I'm just kidding. Just life lesson. Don't jump into anything. You know, stick your toe in the water first.
Stick your toe in the water, test it out.
Test it out. That's how I live my life. Just don't rush into things. Plan
Yep.
for the future.
Now, so you didn't rush into this, did you? Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little.
You didn't take your own advice.
Well. You know.
And this is
I stuck my toe in the first tank. The water was warm.
The water was warm. Now you have 30, 40 days.
So yeah, and it is crazy to me. Like when I look back and I see the timestamp on the first video I ever made of like what my channel's going to be about, who I am, why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And I look at the timestamp that it was like what 5 or 6 months ago.
Isn't that crazy?
And I had one 10-gallon shrimp tank and a 55-gallon goldfish tank.
Oh my gosh.
And I said that's what the channel's going to be on. I'm building one rack with 8 tanks, and yeah.
And here you
And
are.
here I am with more and more racks, and I got more racks to set up. So
Oh my gosh.
we'll see where we go. But it's an addicting hobby, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Well, great advice.
don't jump in like I did.
No. Let's do this. Well, Chris, thank you so much for having me down. This was like a last minute plan. I saw Chris at the meeting
The
yesterday.
meeting yesterday, I did a
And-
live stream on it. Check it out.
Yeah, he did do a live stream on it, so you could see the whole talk, and it's pretty entertaining. I watched the first 10 minutes on my way over. I'm like, man, this is cool.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and then I was like, man, I'd love to come over in the morning before I head back home. And so here I am. So Chris, thank you so much for
Thank
having
you
me.
for coming, showing my room to all your fans. Hopefully, some of you fans will come check out my
Yeah,
website.
definitely
my
check
fans
out-
could be your fans. Your fans could be my fans.
Amen. Roma Aquatics on YouTube. Definitely check them out. And so thank you so much, Chris. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank
All
you
right.
for having me.
We'll see you guys later.
Later, fish fam.